The old farmer's secret to pest control starts with understanding that nature already gives us everything we need to keep bugs away without ever opening a bottle of chemicals. Experienced growers have passed these methods down quietly for generations, and once you know how they work, you'll wonder why more people don't use them. Gardeners who want stronger plants, healthier soil, and fewer pests often discover that the most effective solutions are also the simplest, and that is exactly what this guide explores. The first principle is that healthy soil makes plants naturally resistant. Old farmers always talk about soil first because pests rarely overwhelm a strong plant. When the soil is rich with organic matter, plants grow thicker cuticles, develop deeper root systems, and produce natural compounds that repel insects. Compost that has aged for at least 6 months offers the best nutrition, and a ratio of 1 part compost to 3 parts native soil is an ideal starting mix for vegetable beds. For herbs grown in containers, mixing equal parts compost, garden soil, and coarse sand creates the balance that helps plants like rosemary, thyme, and sage resist chewing insects. When the soil is biologically alive, aphids, whiteflies, and leaf miners are far less likely to take hold because the plants themselves become tougher and less appealing. The next principle is that strong scents confuse pests, and this is where companion planting becomes a powerful tool. Old farmers instinctively knew that certain plants release aromatic oils that insects prefer to avoid. Modern gardeners can apply the same idea with very simple arrangements. For example, basil planted 12 to 18 inches from tomato stems reduces hornworm activity because the strong scent disrupts the moths that lay eggs. Marigolds placed along the borders of a bean bed deter nematodes and Mexican bean beetles through a natural compound called alpha-terphenol. Even onions and garlic, interplanted in a ratio of 1 allium to every 4 to 5 lettuce plants, noticeably cut down on slugs and aphids. The key is not scattering these herbs and flowers randomly, but planting them tightly enough that the aroma creates a consistent barrier. Old farmers also relied on natural sprays that require no chemicals, just common kitchen ingredients. One of the most dependable is the classic garlic pepper spray, which works because its sulfur and capsaicin compounds irritate soft-bodied insects. To make it effective, blend 10 garlic cloves with 2 hot peppers and 1 quart of water. Then strain and dilute the mixture with another quart of water. Adding 1 teaspoon of mild liquid soap helps it adhere to leaves. Spraying this mix every 7 to 10 days on the undersides of leaves interrupts the life cycle of aphids, thrips, and mites. For powdery mildew or early signs of fungal stress, an old but effective mixture uses 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil mixed into 1 gallon of water. This raises the pH on the leaf surface just enough to prevent fungal spread while being gentle on plants. Maintaining garden cleanliness is another traditional method that many gardeners overlook. Pests thrive where debris collects because it gives them shade, moisture, and hiding spots for eggs. Old farmers walk their fields daily, removing yellow leaves, flipping over stones, and trimming low branches to increase airflow. Applying that practice today means taking 2 or 3 minutes during regular watering to remove damaged leaves and any decaying matter around plant bases. A bed kept aerated and exposed to light dries quickly after rain, preventing the dampness that attracts earwigs, pillbugs, and fungal gnats. Even spacing plants correctly helps more than most people realize. When tomatoes are planted 24 to 30 inches apart, airflow strengthens the stems and reduces whitefly reproduction dramatically. Another secret many old growers swear by is using natural predators to restore balance rather than fighting pests directly. Ladybugs, lacewings, parasitic wasps, and ground beetles are incredibly effective when the environment supports them. A small water source, such as a shallow dish filled with pebbles, gives beneficial insects a landing spot and encourages them to stay. And leaving a 2-foot border of clover, dill, or yarrow around the garden provides pollen and nectar that support predator populations during times when pests are scarce. When these beneficial insects settle into the garden, infestations drop faster than any chemical could accomplish. One ladybug, for example, can consume up to 50 aphids a day, and a single lacewing larva can eliminate hundreds in a week. Mulching with natural materials is another subtle but powerful tactic that keeps pests under control. Old farmers preferred straw, shredded leaves, or pine needles because they create an uneven surface that crawling insects dislike. A 2-inch layer around tomatoes and peppers keeps cutworms away by forming a dry, scratchy barrier they avoid crossing. For herbs like mint or oregano, a lighter 1-inch layer prevents splashback from rain, which, reduces fungal spores on the stems. As the mulch breaks down, it also feeds the soil, reinforcing the first core principle of healthy soil leading to healthier, more resilient plants. Finally, consistent observation ties all these methods together. The old farmer's true secret wasn't luck or magic, it was watching closely enough to act early, checking the underside of leaves every few days, looking for tiny discolorations, or noticing slowed growth is what allows gardeners to intervene with natural methods before pests ever become a crisis. Once you develop the habit, your garden practically tells you what it needs. A few aphids on new growth may call for a garlic spray. A cluster of eggs on a leaf might tell you it is time to introduce more beneficial insects. These small, early steps prevent the kind of outbreaks that often push gardeners toward chemicals. Natural pest control is not only effective but deeply rewarding because it builds a garden that becomes stronger each season. When you understand and apply these old farmer principles, you create a resilient ecosystem where pests are manageable, plants thrive, and the soil grows richer year after year. If you found this guide helpful, subscribe to Gentle Herb Gardening and share it with other growers who want practical, time-tested knowledge that actually works.